Our focus today, food insecurity, a lack of security as far as infrastructure in the agriculture sector is confirmed. It's been our focus this morning. It's going to be our focus throughout the day. We've been looking particularly at the roads and how it's affecting farmers on this show. Later on, we're going to talk about the economy and what sort of partnerships we need in this space. Now, farmers, though, as we zone in on agriculture, they're struggling to get their produce to markets due to the poor state of the country's roads. They physically can't necessarily transport what they want to. Their plans have also been derailed. Of course they have. They've been derailed by the lack of rail transport services. So let's find out what the real impact is. Are there solutions in the works? Are they workable? Let's hear from Pitso Sekhoto from the African Farmers Association of SA, also the chair of Agri-sector Unity Forum, joining us this morning. Pitso, good morning to you. And I mean, just how much of a mess is this? We'll talk solutions in a moment. How bad of a mess is this for the agriculture sector, the lack of usable roads in our country? Good morning.
Good morning, sir, and good morning to your listeners. Thank you for having me.
Only a pleasure. Let's talk about the issues on the roads. I mean, just how bad is this for the agriculture sector when they can't even transport their own goods to shops and markets?
It's definitely very, very, very bad. And the whole situation is done by powers not doing what they're supposed to do. I think the municipalities, the provincial government is responsible for this mess. There's a lot of budget that is allocated every year given to this budget for roads to be repaired. But no one in this country is taking seriously the repair and maintenance of the roads, and they affect farmers heavily. And if you take agriculture, it's actually the only one and the only sector that can take the poverty away from our unemployment people. A lot of people can be employed in agriculture if agriculture is being taken seriously.
When you say people, Pitso, forgive me, when you say people are not taking this seriously, who do you mean by that? Because the whole point of today and doing this focus on the show is to try and get the answers from the right people. Who are you talking about when you say people? We want to chase them down, get answers for you.
I'm talking about the government. I'm talking about the government, the national government, the provincial government, and the municipalities. Don't take us serious about putting the maintenance of the road as their priority, because the road is very important in all sectors of the economy. We can't put anything if the roads are not well. There's nothing that you can transport. There was a lot of rains that is taking place at the moment. And if our roads are not okay, then it means we can't transport anything. Take the milk people who are actually transporting milk almost every morning. And if the roads are not well, those people are not being transported. People who are now transporting diesel to farmers, that farmers can't get diesel. I can go on and on and on. I don't even have to mention other problems that are also incurring us, like the
blackouts.
Electricity.
Yeah, the blackouts are a big problem as well. When we talk about food insecurity, Pitso, I mean, are we seeing a state of food insecurity in our country yet? I mean, these are the problems on the road. Are we at a point where we have a food insecurity issue in the country, or are we still going to get there if we don't fix these problems?
If we don't fix these problems, we are slowly going there, because farmers can't just cope. There's no budget for the maintenance of the road from farmers. No one can put money aside to repair the roads. This is government's responsibility. This is municipalities' responsibility. And gone are those days where we'll always blame others. Today, we are governing this country, but the maintenance of the roads is non-existent. And this is really putting farmers at the back foot with food security. It's coming to bite us heavily.
It certainly is. Many experts agree with you, Pitso, that it is coming quicker than it should be. I want to just ask as well, one is about the rail infrastructure, because I don't know the sector well enough to know if this situation with the roads is worse because there isn't rail, or if there's always been a problem with the rail and the agriculture sector anyway. How much worse does it make the situation by not having rail infrastructure up and running?
It's very bad. If the rail was here, I think farmers would have done very well, extremely well. And if you take the apartheid farmers, they did very well because the infrastructure of the roads and rail were on top of their game. Their maize, their products were going through all the areas through rail. And today, we don't have rail. And if we can't have rail, then it means really our congestion at our roads are terrible. When there's no maintenance, it's worse. So without rail and with the condition that we're having, we're seriously going down the bad road of food security.
Let me ask about this food insecurity and try and find a solution. I'm not even sure if there is one at this point, but I'm hoping you have some positivity, Pitso. If you and the various organizations you represent, what would your focus be right now? To get the roads fixed and operational, or to get rail up and running? I know you want to say both, but let's imagine you can't have both. Which is the quickest solution to the majority of these problems? Just before I say goodbye.
The quickest solution is for the municipality, the provincial government, and the national government to implement the program of maintenance like yesterday. There's no other solution, because there is a budget. There is a budget that is allocated to all these votes, year in, year out. So there's no need of us really worrying so much when there is a budget. If there was no budget, at least we could be saying, what are we going to do? There's budget. This country puts budget year in, year out, and it's been voted by all the structures year in, year out. So we don't have any option, that we don't have any reason of not fixing our roads.
I imagine then, as I say goodbye to you very briefly, because I want to get this answer from you, because I imagine you have a strong opinion about this. Where do you think that money is going? Because you're right, there is money. We have the budgets. It's coming from taxpayers' money. It is voted in by the municipalities and government. Where do you think that money is going? As I say goodbye, very briefly.
It's going their own way. I think there's a lot of corruption in this country, and I don't have to explain that. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of unspending. There's a lot of just spending at irrelevant things that are not worth spending. The important part that needs to be spent is on the infrastructure of this country, where things can go smoothly and where the employment can actually increase if these monies are being used productively. And forget about also these tenders. Just employ people who are going to work on daily basis, and the numbers would be employed going forward.
Well, then, for the moment, I'm going to say thank you very, very much indeed, Pitso Sekhoto, making time for us this morning. As you can hear, there's a lot of frustration. It's not like there aren't solutions, not like there isn't money. There is. It's just being very, very badly managed and stolen within the framework of corruption. That's what he's saying, is there's no need to try and find new solutions. The solution's there. The money's there. We've paid the taxes. The problem is they're not getting used. Pitso Sekhoto of the African Farmers Association of South Africa and Agri-sector Unity Forum joining us.